you've ever wondered why some women just seem to move differently, it's not luck, it's not magic. It's daily intentional moves that stack up over time. Let's break down 10 of those moves so you can apply them to your own glow up. Now, if you're returning, welcome back. But if you're new here, hi, my name is Tiffany, and I make content all about becoming the best version of yourself. Now, if that sounds like your vibe, girl, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We would love to have you. Let's get into it. So let's start with something nobody tells you. High-performing women don't just wait to be invited. They put themselves in the room on purpose. And they know exactly how to build connections that open doors long before they need them. Research from Harvard shows that 85% of jobs are filled through networking, not cold applications. It's not just what you know, but who knows you and what they say when you're not in the room. Think about that coworker who always seems to know somebody. She gets invited to panels, gets her ideas heard, or lands that opportunity before it's even posted. That's not luck, that's strategic connection. She follows up after meetings. She sends thank you notes. She remembers birthdays. And when she shows up, she's memorable because she brings value first. I want you to start by nurturing just one connection a week. Quality over quantity. Send a genuine check-in. Share an article or a podcast. Congratulate them on a win. Promotion, a baby, new house. Small touches like that build trust. Or just invite them for a quick coffee with no agenda. And here's the part most people miss. Be the connector too. If you know two people who could help each other, introduce them. High-performing women just don't collect contacts. They build a network that grows together. Relationships compound. Nurture them before you need them, so that when an opportunity knocks, your name is the one that comes up first. Now, once you're in the room and you're building those connections, the next question is simple. What do people remember about you when you leave? And that's where having a clear personal brand changes everything. Psychology research shows that people form an impression in just 7 seconds. And once that impression is made, they look for evidence to confirm it. That means your brand, how you show up, speak, write, and even dress, speaks for you before you open your mouth. Think about that woman whose name you hear and immediately you think, she's sharp, she's put together, she's trustworthy, she's about her business. That's not an accident. That's intentional branding. She knows how to carry herself in a room, online and offline. Her emails are clear. Her social posts align with her goals. And you never have to guess what she stands for. I want you to start with an honest audit of how the world sees you. Girl, Google yourself. What pops up? Check your LinkedIn. Does your photo match your current vibe? Skim your old posts and comments. Do they align with the woman you're becoming and not just the one you were? And here's an extra layer. Get clear on your 3 brand words. How do you want people to describe you when you're not in the room? Maybe it's credible, warm, and polished. Or creative, reliable, and bold. And once you know those words, check. Does your content, presence, and energy match them? And branding isn't just visuals, it's how you make people feel too. Do your interactions leave people feeling seen, inspired, or empowered? That's your true brand. High-performing women don't leave this up to chance. They craft it on purpose. Because when people know exactly what you bring to the table, the right doors open faster. And here's something high-performing women know deep down. You don't have to wait quietly, hoping to be seen. They trust their worth enough to ask for what they need. Softly, clearly, and without apology. A Carnegie Mellon study found that 83% of women never negotiate their salary, costing them over $1 million throughout their career. Why? Fear of rejection, fear of seeming difficult, fear of hearing no. But research shows that women who do ask don't just earn more, they gain respect as leaders who advocate for themselves. One thing high-performing women understand is that no one is a mind reader. People can't reward what they don't know you want. They don't confuse silence with humility. They see asking, whether it's for money, a better role, or support, a sign of self-respect, not arrogance. They also know that asking isn't about demanding, it's about positioning. It's presenting the facts, the value, and your vision with clarity and calm confidence. They see every conversation as practice for the next one. Each ask builds a muscle that makes the next one easier. Closed mouths don't get fed, but confident voices open doors. I want you to start small to build this muscle. Girl, ask for the extra discount at checkout. Ask your partner for help instead of doing it all. Ask a client for a testimonial. Ask for clarity instead of assuming. Every time you ask for what you actually want, you prove to yourself that your needs matter. High-performing women don't hope to be rewarded for quiet, hard work. They name what they want. They position themselves to receive it, boldly and unapologetically. Now, once you've gotten into the room and people know your name, what really sets you apart is how you use your voice. When to speak up, and just as powerfully, when to hold your peace and really listen. Studies show that the most influential people in meetings talk less. But when they do, they're clear, intentional, and people lean in. Active listening actually activates trust and makes your words land with more weight. So for me, I remember I used to think I had to talk a lot to look smart, to be the first one to answer, to fill every silence. But the smartest women that I know speak when it matters. They ask thoughtful questions. They don't interrupt. And because they listen first, when they do speak, it's exactly what the room needs to hear. Before you jump in, I want you to pause and ask yourself, does this add value? Am I speaking to contribute or to prove? If it adds clarity or moves the discussion forward, say it with confidence. If not, lean back and listen. Then note what you learn. And here's an extra power move. If you have an idea that wasn't the right time to share, send a quick, clear note. I was thinking more about what you said. Here's another angle that could help. Now you're seen as someone who listens deeply and brings solutions. Silence is not weakness. Listening is a strategy. It gives you leverage, makes others feel respected, and lets you respond powerfully instead of reacting impulsively. High-performing women know every word carries weight when you're not wasting any. Now, part of using your voice wisely is knowing when to close your mouth and open your mind. Because high-performing women don't just talk, they listen for feedback that makes them better. Research shows that people who regularly ask for feedback perform 39% better than those who don't. Girl, feedback is free coaching. But here's the kicker. Acting on it quickly is what sets high performers apart. Now, I remember getting feedback early in my career that it was hard to understand what I was saying. Probably because I'm from the South, girl, and we do have an accent. On top of that, I talked way too fast. And that's actually why I speak slow and calm in my videos. And funny enough, I get so many sweet comments on how soothing my voice is. One of my viewers once told me, "Your content is great, but you roll your eyes too much. Stop rolling your eyes." I still think about that every time I film. But you know what? I use that feedback to get better. And I hope it shows in this video. Because sometimes the difference between good and great is something you can't see yourself, but someone else can. And when you're asking for feedback, don't just ask, do you have feedback? That's a little too broad. Try, what's one thing you do differently if you were me? What's one thing I can improve for next time? How did that land for you, honestly? And when you get feedback, thank them and then act on it. Nothing kills trust faster than asking for input and then ignoring it. And remember, feedback isn't criticism, it's clarity. High-performing women don't fear it. They treat it like free game to level up. And once they've listened, adjusted, and grown, they don't stop there. High-performing women keep their skills fresh, so the value they bring always stays one step ahead of what's expected. LinkedIn's data shows the most sought-after professionals upskill every single year, and Deloitte found that skills have half-lives now, meaning what you learned 5 years ago might already be obsolete. Staying ahead keeps you irreplaceable, not just employed. We've all seen this, that one talented person that used to be great, but got passed up for a promotion because they didn't keep up. Meanwhile, the woman who took the online class, learned the new system, or mastered that new tool becomes the go-to. High-performing women don't wait for someone to train them. They train themselves first. I want you to pick one new skill every quarter. So that's 4 new skills a year. It could be a short online course, a new software that makes your work smoother, a book on leadership, AI, or money. Even just getting better at what you already do. Deeper mastery counts too. And tell your manager or your mentor what you're learning. When people know you're committed to growth, they think of you first when opportunities pop up. And here's something nobody talks about. Don't just learn, show it. Share a win, post a takeaway, teach it to someone else. When you become the woman who's always evolving, you make yourself impossible to overlook. And remember, skills are currency, so stack them on purpose. And once they've sharpened those skills, they don't just sit on them. High-performing women use what they've learned to take bold, calculated risks that move them to the next level. Psychologists call this the stretch risk zone, the sweet spot where the challenge is big enough to push you forward, but not so big it paralyzes you. And research shows that people who regularly step into this zone grow skills, resilience, and confidence faster than people who always play it safe. High-performing women understand that staying in your comfort zone might feel safe, but it quietly steals your potential. They know real growth never happens inside the familiar. When they feel fear, they don't see it as a stop sign. They see it as proof they're leaning into something bigger than what they've done before. They don't take reckless leaps, they take calculated ones. They gather information, weigh the risk, prepare as best they can, then they move. And here's the secret. They know the first risk doesn't have to be huge. Tiny stretch moves, stacked consistently, build the courage for bigger ones later. They trust that even if it doesn't work out perfectly, they'll gain lessons that make them sharper for the next move. I want you to ask yourself, what's one thing I'd do if I knew I wouldn't fail? Then flip it. What's the tiniest version of that thing that I can do now? Want to switch careers? Have one conversation with someone in that field. Want to start a side hustle? Sell one tiny offer or product this month. Want to speak publicly? Post one short video or pitch to speak at a small local event. And then write down your worst case scenario. It's probably not as scary as your brain makes it out to be. Then write your best case. Somewhere between those two is where your next level lives. High-performing women don't wait to feel ready. They bet on themselves even when doubt tries to hold them back. Because that's how they build the confidence everyone else thinks they were born with. And when they take those smart risks, they don't just build confidence. They build opportunities to grow their money in more than one place. Studies show the average millionaire has 7 streams of income, and only one is usually a paycheck. It's not about greed. It's about security, freedom, and options. Multiple streams protects you when life shifts, jobs change, or the economy flips. Think about that woman who works her 9 to 5, but still has breathing room. Maybe she sells a digital product, does freelance consulting, rents out a spare room, or invests wisely. She's not just working for money, her money is working for her, even when she sleeps. And here's the thing, she didn't build it all overnight. She took small steps. Maybe she made her first $100 online, then reinvested it. Maybe she turned a hobby into a tiny service. Maybe she learned to say yes to opportunities that look small, but built skills and trust. So start tiny. Pick one small, realistic stream to build this year. Package a skill you already have. Tutoring, consulting, digital templates. Open a basic investment or high-yield savings account and learn how compounding works. Sell unused clothes, furniture, or gear. Then flip the profit into something that grows. High-performing women don't rely on one income. They build streams, drop by drop, brick by brick. Because when your money works while you rest, you get to make choices from vision, not desperation. And you don't have to build all 7 streams this year, but you do have to plant the first seed. Now, if you're still watching at this point, and you are done letting old habits keep you small, drop this emoji in the comments, because we are transforming, girl, and they're about to see a whole new you. And once those new streams of income start flowing in, High-performing women know it's just as important to protect their time and energy. So they learn how to make their hours work for them, not against them. Now, the Pareto principle, or the 80-20 rule, shows that 80% of your results come from 20% of your actions. High-performing women protect that vital 20% fiercely. They know being busy doesn't always mean being effective. It just means you're filling time instead of moving the needle. Time leverage is about asking, where is my highest value? It's about spending your best energy on work only you can do. Vision, strategy, big ideas, connections, and clearing out distractions that don't move you forward. Now, most people confuse motion with progress. Answering every email the second it lands, or handling every detail yourself feels productive, but often it's just your comfort zone disguised as work. High-performing women flip this. They focus on what truly grows their career, income, or peace, and they build systems or teams to handle the rest. They also know leverage isn't just about outsourcing things. It's about protecting mental space. They plan ahead, use templates, batch similar things, and create routines so they spend less energy deciding and more energy executing. This week, I want you to do a time audit. Write down everything for 3 to 5 days. Circle what only you can do, your zone of genius. Put a star by what can be automated, delegated, or eliminated. Pick one tool or strategy to buy back your time this month, an automation app, or help from someone else. Time is your most valuable asset, and once it's spent, you can't earn it back. High-performing women protect their time the same way they protect their money, with intention, boundaries, and smart leverage. And when they've mastered how to guard their time, they remember that true success isn't just about doing more. It's about protecting their mind and body so stress doesn't quietly steal what they've worked so hard to build. Chronic stress actually shrinks your brain's prefrontal cortex, the part that controls decision-making, focus, and self-control. And long-term, this doesn't just affect how you feel, it affects how you perform. High-performing women know ignoring stress doesn't make it disappear. It just makes the fallout bigger later. And burnout rarely hits all at once. It's the slow drip of saying yes when you mean no, skipping rest because you're too busy, pushing through headaches and brain fog like they're normal. High performers flip that. They don't wait for the meltdown to take a break. They build in rest, recovery, and recalibration before it's urgent. They also know that managing stress isn't just about bubble baths or spa days, although those do help. It's about boundaries, sleep, moving your body, staying connected to people who pour back into you, and creating daily habits that empty the mental trash before it piles up. I want you to build micro resets into your day. 5-minute stretch between tasks, a walk outside instead of scrolling, a real lunch break away from your desk. Pick one non-negotiable ritual for the week. Maybe it's a long walk on Sunday, a phone-free evening, or turning your phone off an hour before bed. And protect your mental inbox. Unfollow accounts that drain you. Mute group chats when needed. And remember, you don't have to respond immediately to everyone. But I want you to reframe the way that you see rest. Rest is not a reward for burning out. It's a requirement for clarity, creativity, and resilience. The better you care for your mind and body, the more power you'll have to show up sharp and stay ahead. High-performing women do not burn out to prove a point. They know rest fuels the work that really matters. Girl, guard your peace like it's part of the plan. So if you're serious about becoming the woman who doesn't just dream, but does, take one of these habits and start today. Protect your peace, show up on purpose, and don't be afraid to play bigger than you ever had before. Now, if this helped you, girl, give it a like, drop a comment, and let me know which habit you're claiming. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss your next level. And if you're ready to finish this year strong, go watch my mid-year reset video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you there.